Good morning everyone. I'm doing this week's reflection on Simon Gilbow's Choose Life, and today I'm looking at the 3rd of November, up front or behind the scenes. And really what Simon is talking about today is how sometimes we can look around and think, I can't really be used of God. I'm not like so-and-so. I'm not like them. I'm not like this. I can't have influence over other people. And actually we can begin to question our worth. And if you look at what the Bible tells us that every single human that was ever born on this planet is an image bearer of God, and in that sense has incredible intrinsic value and worth. And I guess what's behind this is actually sometimes we can compare ourselves and we can just decide that we're not like others and therefore we have no worth or that we're no good. And it's just not true. Simon talks about Andrew in the Gospels. Andrew, Peter's brother. Peter, who on this rock I will build my church. Peter, who realised that Jesus was the Christ, the Son of the living God. Yes, Andrew, Peter's brother. And I guess that's the point. We know so much about Peter and so little about Andrew. Do we even know what it says about him in the Gospels? Well, actually, the Gospels point out that what Andrew did do was he introduced people to Jesus. And in doing so, that had a profound impact on God's kingdom. Andrew introduced Peter to Jesus and as such changed and transformed the world. Simon goes on to talk about, let me see if I can get this name right, Albert Machin, of which I'll call him Albert. Have you ever heard of Albert? I bet you haven't outside of this book. Albert was a 24-year-old farmer who got born again, had an encounter with Jesus. He was so excited he wanted to invite all of his farmer mates to church so they could experience the gospel and the same Jesus he had. He would grab his truck and he would go around farm to farm and he would pick them up and take them on a Sunday. One person in particular was really reluctant to any invitation. Not even out of politeness, this one friend wouldn't come. Albert really wanted this young man to hear the gospel. So one day he decided, I know what I can do. I'll get my friend to drive the truck to pick us all up, and maybe, just maybe, he'll come along. And we pick up the story here. They arrived at the church and Albert was thrilled that his reluctant guest decided to go in. The gospel presentation convicted the young man to his core, and he came back night after night before taking the plunge and giving his life to Christ. The year was 1934. The young driver of the truck was Billy Graham. Nobody led more people to the Lord in the 20th century than him. Wow. Up front or behind the scenes, I can't be used of God. I can't influence anything for the kingdom. Who am I? I've not got the same gifts as some of the people I see around me. My friend there, my pastor, the local evangelist. I can't do anything. Well, that's not true. One, as I've said, you have absolute value and worth as an image bearer of God. You have great value and you have great influence, as both here Andrew and Albert simply introduced somebody to Jesus, and that influenced so much more than they could ever dream. Simon says, choose to be Andrew today. You don't have to be confident. You don't have to have all the answers. Just be you. Just be the authentic you to people and allow God to work through you and God to transform people's lives through you taking that bold step and introducing people to Jesus. So that they don't look around at what others have and what you don't. Know that you are of great value and worth. Be you as you introduce people to Jesus today. Church, have a great day.